Is the Las Vegas housing market finally cooling off, or is it just catching its breath? If you're buying or selling in Las Vegas right now, you're navigating the most balanced market we've seen since pre pandemic days. Interest rates are still high, but inventory has opened up, and both sides have room to negotiate. All right, so let's dive into the data, starting with single family homes and the median price now at $470,000. That's down 2.1% month over month and also down 2.1% year over year. So, this last month drop in price has brought us down to exactly where we were last year at $470,000. There are 1,884 homes that were sold. That's up 2.7% month over month and up 5.2% year over year. So, wait, prices are down, but sales are up. Interesting. Something we'll talk about in a moment. And then moving forward with the number of new listings, there are 3,161 of them. That's down 1% month over month and up 11.7% year over year. So a little less new listings hit the market compared to the month prior. There are 7,502 active listings that don't have offers. That's up 4.1% month over month and up 37.4% year over year. So homes were listed less, but they're still available. So that means they're not selling as fast. And we have that data here in a moment. 4 months of inventory. That's up 14% month over month and up 30.7% year over year. You may have heard me say in previous videos, 4 months of inventory for me is that magic number of a perfectly balanced market. And here we are. Half of the homes that sold within 30 days. That's still pretty good, but it's down 61% from last year. So homes are taking longer to sell. And it's also down 54.1% from last month. So we're seeing a long-term and a short-term trend of homes sitting on the market longer. And we'll go over the condos and townhomes here now. Their median price also fell close to 2%. It's now $294,000. Sales are basically flat. 485 of them occurred, down 0.2% year over year. There are currently just about 2,600 active listings. That's up 50% year over year. Sounds big, but again, really low inventory at that point. But it's brought us up to what I would consider high inventory, frankly, at 5.4 months of inventory. Again, up around 50% of last year. So they're not really moving, condos and townhomes. 46% sold within 30 days, and that's down from 60%. So the theme here is maybe sellers are not listing homes as much as they were because maybe they're not getting the price they want. They're seeing prices cool off. They're seeing activity cool off, longer days on market. So maybe they're just holding out to wait. That's the balanced market that I've been preaching for the past several months, and here it is. So all this data for me, it means a few things as an agent. Definitely in the field, seeing more homes for sale and slower turnaround across Clark County. Things are taking a while, especially in Summerlin and Henderson, where new construction is adding supply. These areas are still booming. The builders have quick move-in inventory, homes they want to unload by the end of the year, and they're still selling dirt lots. So we have that additional supply that's not even counted in these numbers, something to consider. While prices slipped slightly after a pretty strong spring, staying balanced and even increasing a bit in spring, a 2% dip to me is a seasonal cool down. It's not a crash. Active inventory up double digits. It gives buyers breathing room and forces sellers to price strategically, but it does not mean that, again, there's a crash coming. Days on market, that stat you heard me say, crept up. Homes are sitting longer without multiple offers, that's for sure. So if you're a seller and you get a good offer, you definitely want to pay attention to it, give some concessions, be prepared to do some repairs during due diligence, and hold on to that buyer if you can. There may not be another one coming. So balanced markets mean you need the right presentation and pricing to stand out as a seller. That's going to be critical. Buyers have more options. You must now stand out. Let's talk about mortgage rates for a minute. They are on their way down. We got used to 7% and high sixes. We're getting into those low sixes and mid sixes pretty comfortably now. That eases affordability. So with prices down a little bit, rates down a little bit, you might see some buyers re-enter the market, but maybe they'll wait until the holidays are over. Who knows? But if you're a buyer, I smell a little bit of a striking zone you might want to consider. In the luxury corridors, we're seeing that the average price across Vegas actually went up. So you heard me say the median price went down, which is a more accurate number for a general landscape. And the reason the average price went up is we still have these big luxury sales that are driving those prices, those averages up. So places like the Ridges, McDonald Highlands, the Summit, Lake Las Vegas, their inventory spiked too, but buyer activity remains steady for luxury turnkey homes. Downtown and the resort corridor, those condo markets are facing competitions as well. Investors are reevaluating the ROI with higher holding costs and higher HOAs. So that's that. So, what does all of this mean for you? If you're a buyer, it means more choices and less pressure. Take time to compare. Negotiate your closing costs, negotiate rate buy downs. A lot of sellers are offering credits. And rates, they may drift down slightly from here, but don't wait for perfect timing. Lock if the home fits. My sellers, price realistically and expect longer marketing times. Staging and photography, always, but especially now, non negotiable. Inventory's up 30%. Stage your home. And that doesn't necessarily mean renting out furniture. Get with a good agent. And be open to concessions for repairs and keep your buyers engaged, as I mentioned earlier. Investors, rising inventory creates buying opportunities in condos, especially in older single family homes. Rents are stable per CoStar. I read their September report after falling, but the yield spreads are narrow. So focus on long term holds and value add projects. What question do you have about the Vegas housing market right now? Drop it in the comments and I'll be sure to answer it. I might even cover it in my next month's update. And remember, guys, awareness builds advantage. Why do I always say that? What you know about the market will give you an advantage. Information and knowledge are power. So stay tuned, subscribe, like, share with a friend, and I'll see you next month.